Chapter 12. Mirk, Mire, the bowels of the earth. The boy looked across the mist. He couldn't see far, but as far as he could see, there was nothing but steam and mist dancing in a spooky kind of way. The boy, less arrogant than before, proceeded, knowing he must exercise courage. Gripping his key, he stepped out into the fog, paying attention to that small voice in his head saying, "Be prepared. Courage." As he waded through the mist, he soon saw a light from what looked like a fire. And then he heard a voice. Where's it coming from? The ground? No. Well then, where? He thought. He looked all around him, and then he looked up. The hair on the back of his head stood up. Above him hovered the head of a massive worm. Its body rested coil upon coil, and each coil was the size of a house. Its skin gleamed like an oil slick. Up at the top, its neck weaved back and forth. And there was its head, a hideous, frightening head. It looked like a rattlesnake with a sharp, pointy mouth and nose. It had red antennae attached and back of its lidless eyes. They snapped in the air, creating tiny sparks. The huge head swooped down and came to a stop right in front of the boy's face, and it said, "Boy, I'm glad you're here. You seem like a bright boy. However, your new behavior disturbs me somewhat. In fact, I don't like the way you behave now." The boy started to shake. His hand was trembling, and he thought he was afraid he would drop the key. He willed his fingers to hold on even tighter. He remembered the counsel that Hugh had given him. A small voice inside said, "Don't dare lose heart. Don't dare lose heart. Be brave. Be strong. Courage." Worm, weaving back and forth, said almost earnestly, "I really care about you. Would you like to be a prince in the land of confusion? I can offer you many things. Imagine it, boy. Be my prince. Be my prince, and all that's fun for now will be yours. Kid, I love when you go off. I love it when you take things out of your mum's purse, lie to your parents, cheat at school. When you get so angry it feels like your head's going to pop. Oh yeah, I love it when you totally lose it. I love your style, your attitude, and your actions." The boy stood there trembling. But I was always in trouble," he responded. "Perfect. Just return to the way you used to be." "No, never," the boy shouted with strong resolve. Worm's manner began to change, and he sneered, "You'll never make it out of the land of confusion, you know." "I will," said the boy. "I will make it." Worm shook a terrible shake, and the land shook, and the boy shook, and the earth rattled beneath him. The boy shook so hard he thought again that the key was surely to drop out of his hand. Worm said, "You make me mad." "How? Why?" asked the boy. The evil worm hissed, "You used to be confused. You used to lie. You used to be terrible. I loved you like that. You were miserable, and it made me happy. When you were angry, when you were screaming, I loved you like that." "But I was out of control then," said the boy. "Perfect," screamed Worm. "I was wrong then." Worm changed the subject. "I see that golden something," he hissed. "I know that Hugh has given you, but you'll never get through the land of confusion because all of my armies and all of my legions will take you down, boy, and your behavior will change." "I'll never go back to that bad behavior," screamed the boy. Worm smiled and then said confidently, "Boy, never say never. It ain't over till it's over. It ain't over till the fat lady sings, and she ain't even in the house yet." With that, Worm raised his head back. His huge mouth opened wide and bellowed out a hot, noxious gas. The putrid wind pushed the boy backwards, and Worm screamed, "You'll never make it like this. Your life will be boring. Be gone!" The boy was so frightened that again he almost dropped the key. Afraid to turn his back on this horrible thing, he backed away from it. He backed through the mist all the way to where Regal was still standing there waiting for him. Regal looked at the boy and, realizing he had made it through his encounter with Worm, said, "Well done." The boy eagerly climbed back up onto Regal, who spread his wings and took to the air. The boy, overcome with exhaustion, slept. When he awoke, they were again travelling through time zones, and the boy asked, "Regal, will I ever make it?" "Courage," called Regal. "You've done well so far. Do you want to make it through, boy? That's the question." "Oh, I want to." "Do you have the gifts to make it?" "Yes, I've got all the gifts, and I've got the fox." "Then you have your answer." The boy was lost in important thought for the entire return trip. Before he knew it, Regal began to descend, and the boy recognized Bartram's cabin. As they landed, Bartram came out to greet them and said, "You made it, boy. Well done." "I guess so," he answered. "Did you think I would or I wouldn't?" "I knew you could. Come on inside and sleep, boy." The boy went in, curled up in his favourite easy chair, and slumbered peacefully.